Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the price elasticity of demand. It's on page 39 and 40 of your textbook, chapter 3. Price elasticity is a goofy, weird word. You should think of it more along the lines of responsiveness to a change in price. How responsive are you and I as consumers to a change in the price of whatever we're looking at? If the price goes up, we're going to buy less. The question is, do we buy a lot less or a little bit less? If the price falls, do we buy a whole lot more or a little bit more? Another word instead of elasticity, don't ask me where they got the word elasticity from. You look it up, you can find out. That's just a gee whiz, whatever. But they use it. So another word you might want to use instead, though, is responsive. You just put responsive right over elasticity. It might work better. Another thing to think of it is sensitive. How sensitive are people to a change in price? Now, folks, we're talking behavior, not attitude. We're not talking thoughts. Contrary to what some in the U.S. government in 1984, the book, might think, we don't have thought crimes. You can think whatever you want. We just care what you do. Do you buy it or not? Do you buy a lot more of it, a lot less of it, a little bit more, a little bit less? That's all we care, what you do. For example, price elasticity of demand. How sensitive, how responsive are people to a change in the price of gasoline? Recently, because of this lockdown shutdown, which is why you hear me and don't see me, and I guess smell either, because we're not in the same room. Doesn't smell like Teen Spirit. I guess that's a good thing. Some people with the boots and such. Anyway, if the price of gasoline drops big time from $2.80 a gallon to $1.40 a gallon, which it has, almost half price, are people buying twice as much gasoline? Well, there's other factors at play, but elasticity would say, gee, maybe, maybe not. That's what we're looking at. How sensitive are we to a change in price of gasoline? Do we buy a lot more or a little bit more? That's the question. If you look on page 39 and read those paragraphs, that's a good idea. I'm assuming you did. You probably didn't because you don't like to read the book. Not smart. Read the book. Now that you read the book, let's move on. Let's say there's a demand curve that's negatively sloped. In other words, if the price falls, people will buy more. In this case, they're going to buy a lot more. For example, let's take this arbitrary price right here, shoot across. There we go. And we'll drop it down. So much easier using the actual board. There's our QD1, you may recall. And this is P1 right here. An arbitrary price, arbitrary quantity, boom, 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 boom. Now, let's give this thing a title. Let's call it, oh gosh, I don't know. Coke. Sure, why not? Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, whatever. There's Coke. What happens to the quantity demanded for Coca-Cola if it's an elastic, sensitive, responsive customer base? If the price of Coke goes up a little bit, not even a lot, just a little. There's P2, you can see it there, kind of. Shoot across, hit it, drop down. There's QD2. So in other words, price went up, people are going to buy less of it. That's the law of demand. Good to go. But I'd like to point out, do you see this change here? It's teeny tiny little bitty change of price. I mean, the percent is small. Look at the percent change down here. It's huge. I'd love to show you my 2x4 of knowledge right now, but we're not in the classroom, and I don't have it here, and I'm locked out of the building. Thank you, lockdown. So here's a little increase in price, but a huge drop-off in the amount people will buy because they're elastic, sensitive, responsive to a change in price. And we'll find out why on page 40. There are 3 reasons for it we'll get to in a moment. But I'd like to point out to you that this is an esoteric concept, elasticity of demand, price elasticity, because you and I really don't care You know who does? Suppliers. Suppliers care a lot about price elasticity of demand. Because if you and I are very elastic and very sensitive to a change in price, and my supplier guy comes along and says, hey, I think I'm going to raise the price. Look what happens to his total revenue. May I remind you that total revenue is price times quantity. It equals total revenue. That's not profit. That's just the amount of money that they make that comes in. Let me make that a little bit bigger here, and that's nice. It's not working, and now it is. So price times quantity is total revenue. Price times quantity. It's like geometry. What's the area of a rectangle? Width times height, base times height, whatever. We got it here. So in other words, if I raise the price, I will gain, let's try that again. If I raise price, I will gain this little bitty rectangle right here. Do you see this rectangle here? I'm going to gain. That's an addition to my total revenue. Problem. I'm going to lose this rectangle. This rectangle is gone. It's no longer money I'm going to be pulling into my company. You tell me, am I making more money or less money overall? The area of this rectangle here compared to the area of this rectangle, which one's bigger? Duh. The old original rectangle is much bigger than the new rectangle. I gain the blue, I lose the pink. I am stupid. In other words, if I'm a business and I'm selling and I know my customers are elastic or sensitive or responsive, am I going to raise the price? You got it. I'm going to actually reduce the price. So let's pretend P2 is original, P1 is new. I'm going to drop my price. A sale, a rebate, a coupon, whatever. I'm going to drop my price a little bit and look at all the people that'll be busting through my door to buy from me. Of course, that assumes things that we'll get into later. But for right now, elasticity tells us that if I'm a supplier with a demand that's elastic, I'm going to reduce my price and increase the amount of people that come through. Because the percent change in quantity demanded will be huge compared to how much I reduce my price by. That's if they're elastic. What if they are not? What if they are inelastic? Again, a negative slope demand curve. I took an arbitrary price here. And I shoot across to hit the demand curve where I shall ricochet. Okay, that's not the way I want it. Time out for the coach. Screw it. We'll just go with it. Okay, hits my demand curve here. I'm going to drop down, and this is going to be my QD2, right? No, it's QD1. It's my original. Now, once again, we're having an increase in price, only this time a huge increase in price. Monster big. P2. Look at this price increase. It's huge. I come over, I hit the demand curve, I ricochet down, and that's my QD2. Notice my QD2 is not a whole lot less from where it was before. It's closer to zero. I move towards zero. But look, I gain this huge rectangle here. Do you see this big rectangle I'm gaining here? I'm losing this rectangle, and again, geometry. The size of this rectangle compared to the size of this rectangle, which one is larger? Hello! The percent change in price is way bigger than the percent change in quantity demanded. So if I'm a seller, and I know my customers are really inelastic, unresponsive, insensitive, if I can, I'm going to jack the price on them. And did you know, ladies and gentlemen, the demand curve for some goods and services are dang near vertical. In other words, an almost vertical demand curve means I could care less as a buyer of what the price is. I gotta have it. It's going to be something I'm going to have no matter what. Can you think of anything that people will want almost regardless of price? They will pay almost any price to get it. They gotta have it. Yes. Usually they're illegal. Prostitution is illegal because the demand for prostitution is pretty dang vertical. But the real vertical is horizontal, or is demand for drugs. The demand for drugs, crack cocaine specifically, you have got to have it. If you don't have it, you're going to go nuts. You're going to steal, beg, borrow. You're going to run through your savings. You're going to run through all the credit lent to you until you can get what you've got to have. So, yeah. Inelastic demand. Now, what is it that makes us elastic or inelastic? There are three things. Take a look at page 40 of your green book. You'll notice that one is availability of substitutes. Read the paragraph. Okay. Now that you've read the paragraph, I ask you, if there are lots of substitutes, what are you? Sensitive or insensitive? Responsive or unresponsive? Elastic or inelastic? If there are lots of substitutes. The answer is, yeah, you are really, really elastic and sensitive. Like Coca-Cola, you can buy Pepsi, Crown Royal. There's a lot of substitutes for Coke. The second thing that makes us sensitive is percentage of budget. What do we mean here is it expensive for how much money you're making? Are you making a lot of money? Are you making a little bit of money? I don't care. We're talking about the percent of how much you make. Does it take a lot of what you make or a little bit of what you make? If it takes lots, like several paychecks worth to buy you that big screen TV, then you're sensitive to a change in price. If that big screen TV goes on sale, it really grabs your attention and your behavior will change a lot more. On the other hand, that pack of gum you can get over at CD's, that doesn't take a whole lot of your money. You're probably not going to spend a lot. So if they go from $1 to 90 cents, are you buying a lot more packs of gum? Probably not. You'll buy maybe a little bit more, but not a lot. You're insensitive if it takes a little bit. But if it takes a lot, you are elastic. And as you notice on page 40, there's a third thing that makes us sensitive. Elastic. Responsive. If you have lots of time to adjust, you are elastic. Example, airplane tickets. Why is it that if you buy an airplane ticket, now before all this craziness, if you buy an airplane ticket back in the day, let's say you want to go to Florida in July. Yeah, I don't know why, but you do. Okay, Alaska. You want to go to Alaska in July and see the grizzly bears and catch some salmon or whatever. And right now, it's mid-April. You got months to look for a good deal. In fact, they say the best time to get a ticket for an airplane is usually 3 to 4 months before you go. So you can be hunting around and looking and comparing and contrasting. You are very, very sensitive because you got lots of time. But let's say you own a company and your customer is in New Mexico, Albuquerque. Better call Saul Goodman. He bought your program. It's not working. You can't remote help him. You got to literally do FaceTime. You got to get there and unsocial distance. So you get your butt on a jet tomorrow. Do you care what the price of the ticket is as much as you would if you're going on vacation? In other words, do you have a lot of time to adjust because your customer needs help and needs it now? And if you don't help your customer, you might lose your account and you will not make money. So you would rather spend a lot on a ticket now to keep that customer. So if you have lots of time, you're elastic, sensitive, responsive. You can shop around. If you got to have it right now, you are not elastic. You are insensitive. Which brings me to the homework. Page 40, Green Book. At the bottom, in the green box, you got 5 things to choose from. 52-inch flat screen TV. I know this book was written back in the day. Let's up that to an 80-inch 4K TV. Number 1, 80-inch 4K TV. Are you elastic or inelastic? And which reason is it that makes you mostly whatever you are? You're going to go with subs, buds, or time. Which of those 3 things do you think is the biggest player as to what makes you elastic or inelastic? And go down the road. Table salt. Music CD. Now CD, think about it. What else do you do to get music besides CDs? Insulin. How else can you get insulin? Because remember, without insulin, you die. So think diabetic. And t-shirts with the logo of the losing Super Bowl team. Elastic or inelastic, and why? Put in I or E for the first column, and then bud, sub, or time for the second column. Take a picture and email it. I'm out.